Welcome back to the Junior Moneymakers podcast, where we teach kids how to make their own money so they can pay their own way and start their lives debt-free. I'm your host, Mark, and I'm really excited about today's episode. This episode is the first of its kind on the show, and I can't wait to jump in. Before I do, I want you to check something out. If you go to juniormoneymakers.com/ask on your computer, you can submit your question about starting or managing a kid hustle, questions about what to do with all the money you're making, or even gee whiz questions about the Junior Moneymakers project. I'll do my very best to answer every question I get live on the show. All right, let's not waste another minute.
Hi Mark, my name's Ellie from Rhode, Spain. My question is, do you have any tips for naming your business? Because that's something I don't do very well with. Thanks.
Ellie, first of all, thanks for the awesome question. I love that the very first question we got wasn't a softie. Naming your business, Ellie, can be really challenging. Before finally going with Junior Moneymakers, I must have changed the name like 15 times. And every time I bought another domain name just to make sure I didn't lose it. Yeah, that was a mistake that you definitely shouldn't follow. Before I give you tips on naming a business, I do want to caveat it with one thing. Depending on the nature of your business, the name might not really be all that important. Some of the biggest businesses in the world have names that don't seem to make any sense. For example, Apple, Google, McDonald's, and Wendy's are all names that could belong to virtually any product, but are absolute leaders in their industries. At the end of the day, with your first kid hustle, it's more important to pick a name that you and your family are happy with than anything else. That being said, let me give you 3 tips to deciding on your business name. Tip number 1, use your own name. For most kid hustles, it would be just as effective to take your product and add your name. Ellie's Lawn Care, Ellie's Photography, even Ellie's Lemonade. There are a lot of great kid hustles out there that follow this time-tested formula. Mo's Bows, Nanny's by Noah, and Gabby's Bows are just a few off the top of my head. There is absolutely nothing wrong with just going with your own name. Tip number 2, describe your product. There are a few really cool business names out there that simply describe what they do. Great American Cookie Company, Burger King, Sunglass Hut, and Payless Shoes give you an example of what you're in for before you ever set foot in the door. Come up with a clever name that describes what you do. You get bonus points for using alliteration or rhyme. Choose something that rolls off the tongue, and you just might have a winner. Tip number 3, ask around. When I was coming up with the Junior Moneymakers project, I posted on Facebook groups, talked to colleagues. I literally bought like 50 domain names while I tried to figure it all out. The person who finally gave me the name that I went with was my wife. Literally the first person that I should have asked. You can also ask around and create a game or a contest out of it. Give something awesome to the person that comes up with the business name you choose. You can use Facebook, Twitter, word of mouth, etc., and I'm sure you're going to have awesome ideas in no time. Here's a bonus tip for you. I'm not a lawyer. I don't give legal advice, and that's for a pretty good reason. I will, however, tell you a very quick story. One reason that I had so much trouble finding a name for my project is that so many names are already taken. You need to make sure that you check with trademarks and jump through all the legal hoops before you try to register your business name. Otherwise, later, someone might come by and snatch it away from you. Unfortunately, I can't really give you any better advice than that, but Google is pretty good at helping you find articles that can get you through this one. So there you have it, 3 tips to naming your business. Thank you again to Ellie for the awesome question. If you'd like to have your question answered on the show, head over to juniormoneymakers.com/ask and submit your question directly on the website. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to tell a friend about the show tomorrow. Until then, remember to dream big and change the world.
Don't forget that this episode has been brought to you by my brother's YouTube channel, JT Bricks. If you're looking for family-friendly LEGO reviews, alternative builds, and LEGO news, log on to YouTube and subscribe to JT Bricks today.
The views expressed on this program in no way represent the views of the United States Air Force, the Department of Defense, or the United States government, and are solely those of the host and their guest. Additionally, the ideas in this program should only be tried after ensuring compliance with all laws and regulations, and then only with parents' permission. Finally, while we believe in every idea we present, we cannot guarantee your results, as all individual results will vary. Today's joke is from Janelle in Phoenix. She writes, "What's the worst thing about throwing a party in space?" Well, you have to plan it.